what did I get myself into, boys and girls? We are here on a Friday night. I know we're supposed to be at wrestling, but sometimes you just got to kick back at the homestead and talk to the talent because look at boys and girls. We we've talked to one fly, but there's been an incorporation, an evolution called Paid in Full with one Edrick Kash. It's the first time I've ever said his name correctly. Edrick Kash. And tonight we have him as our special guest. So this is Fern a Pot with Donkey Cave and our very special guest, Edrick Kash. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining the show. We're running a little solo. Half of Paid in Full is joining us, and we're going to dig a little deep behind the curtain, pull the curtain back just a smidge, if you allow us, and talk some Edrick Kash. I've been calling you Edrick ever since I've known you, but we won't do that no more. We won't do that no more. We've got Edrick under our belts. It's in here. Welcome to the show, my man. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me. Mm-hmm. I'm very disappointed with you, and you know why. You know why.
I got my Mountain Dew. I've got Edrick Kash. We've got the peeps. They're going to watch a little bit later. We're going to have some fun. Why would you be disappointed in me?
You have your Mountain Dew. You look like you're enjoying yourself. You're quenching your thirst.
I am.
My stomach is growling. You know why? Do you know why?
Oh, I thought you were going to forget all about that. You had yourself a beautiful corned beef sandwich, if I'm not mistaken, earlier in the daytime. You shouldn't be too hungry.
First of all, that corned beef sandwich was product placement.
Oh,
for
marketing.
The product that I provide.
Okay.
For people with particular type of money.
Okay.
Okay. But neither here or there. You owe me garlic knots. I would not be on this podcast if it wasn't for those garlic knots. But you didn't provide those. And the people want to hear from me, so here I am.
Well, I'm going to rewind a little bit when you started demanding some garlic knots from myself because on the house, if you will, because we the funniest thing, boys and girls, and it's been tickling me every time he says it. There was a gang pile on one Brother Bob, I believe a BCW show where you guys really piled on top of him and you were demanding some garlic knots and Fly was flipping me off and Q was yelling at me and there was a whole thing going on. But this whole time from the beginning of hashtag garlic knots and everything, boys and girls, we don't serve garlic knots. That's the funniest thing about this whole goddamn thing. We don't serve garlic knots, and he's been demanding them on the house for months and months and months. I've been laughing my ass off. I've been telling my coworkers. I've been telling the proprietor as such. And my man, they are getting a fucking kick out of all of hashtag garlic knots because we do not serve garlic knots. And they think it's the funniest shit going. Besides Q flipping me off. They like that at work. They really do. I don't know why they're...
I guarantee before the beginning of 2024, you will have garlic knots on the menu.
Hey, let's not strong arm my workplace. Let's not... You've seen what your cohort did.
1,000 lots will be the one to thank for that.
Oh.
You might even get a raise. You might even get a raise, Don.
Huh. So I've seen one Fly Nine Noriega frequent my establishment of work. He's ripped. He charged my check. I think he took like 8 bottles of soda, yelling at me because he wanted his stupid headband. They taxed me at work, took it out of my check. He came there terrorizing me. I gave him a headband back. It was sweet. It was made of butcher paper. It was hilarious. That was fun.
Respectful.
One of the guys did not like it at work. One of the guys thought it was absolutely hilarious. There's a couple of the guys over there that are Team Fly, if you will, and 1,000 Locks over there. But
shout out to those people. Shout out to those people.
Yeah, shout out to those people. Yeah. Do you know, since we're on the topic of business and pleasure here, the guy who's owned this place for almost 30 years, he's my former drummer in High Octane. We've been bros for many a year here. Do you know, to this day, even till today, that motherfucker still calls me Kincaddy? Are you shitting me? He does. He calls me out. He calls me Kincaddy at the workplace. It really pushes my buttons.
Everybody that's watching this podcast, hashtag Kincaddy.
Oh, come on. No. Let's not rehash. Let's not rehash. No.
Anytime
Because
you go to an event and you know that Kincaid is going to be there, hashtag Kincaddy.
Well, let's talk irony, because if that hashtag really, really takes off, there's going to be some inside irony behind that. So please, go ahead. Let that take off. TJ Howell will absolutely be so pissed. But that's a different time, a different story, a different horse of a different color.
We don't want to stir up no smoke with TJ.
Yo, if we can just stay on the topic real quick, and I know this is about 1,000 Locks. You mentioned 1,000 Locks. Is that what we addressed you as, or Edrick Kash? I'm getting mixed up because I've heard through the grapevine, and you've mentioned it one time so far, and we've only been running for 6 minutes, 55 seconds. 1,000 Locks. I've heard, again, I could be getting misinformation, but I got some pretty good sources. We talk evolution on this show. 1,000 Locks. Is there an evolution going on with one Edrick Kash?
Oh, if anyone follows wrestling, there's always a bit of or sprinkle of evolution here and there. I mean, little dibble dabble here and there. So I just say stay tuned. I mean, just stay tuned. 1,000 Locks is for people that are comfortable with being around me and calling me that. 1,000 Locks is also a name that can be learned very sternly. So,
and nobody has a name like that at all. It's very original. But does that come from, per se, real life, the 1,000 Locks? Is it kind of transitioning over into wrestling?
I mean, 1,000 Locks is like, I'll put it like this. It's not really a gimmick thing, but it's kind of like it kind of represents me. It represents these locks right here. It represents strength. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot to rip these apart. You know what I'm saying? So it's a combination of a lot of things that I really can't explain right now. But, if you have an open mind, you can pretty much put it together. You know what I'm saying? It represents me.
Okay. I'm picking up, as Richard Eastone Esquire has said multiple times, I'm picking up what you're putting down, my man. So why did I even mention him? Oh, my goodness. But anywho, the hair, could we talk about that real quick? And then I wanted to kind of rewind a little bit. The hair, how long have you been growing that, my man?
We'll say about, I think 16 years coming February.
Wow. Holy shit. Is it hard to maintain? Because, I mean, I'm a white boy. I got a big old bald spot up here underneath this hat, and I got very thin hair. It's very easy to just, take a shower, wash it up real quick. It only takes like that much, shampoo. Is it hard to maintain and make, as beautiful as it looks?
It is not. I wouldn't say it's hard to maintain, but it does take great maintenance. I mean, like me, you may see me at shows styled up and stuff, but for the most part, I keep it up and I just go about my day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right.
and it's heavy. It is heavy, and sometimes it can be hard to sleep.
Really?
But yeah, depending on the situation I have my hair in. You know what I mean? If I have it in a bun, it's a big bun. So imagine just trying to toss and turn with a big bun, just you know what I mean? Like,
No, I can't. I can't.
and I'm not used to, like, I'm not trying to be crazy. I don't want to get canceled, but women, they're used to all this. They know how to put it in different types of styles and go about their day. I'm not. That's not me. And like, so yeah, there's
Um,
that.
are you just going to continue growing it? I mean, because I mean, I've been around uh, many cultures in my place of employment. Not this one, in a previous place. It was a melting pot over there, and I seen some MFers with hair past their knees. I mean, are you really going to grow this thing out for the long run?
Um, Don, that's an interesting question because I've never been asked that question. I've always been asked like, how long do I plan on growing it? But not asked that type of way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so when I started growing my hair, the plan was to just like grow out my locks until I got to a point where I was successful, right? Now, once again, I'm growing my hair going on 16 years. That was almost 16 years ago. That's a lot of maturity and
It
that's a
is.
lot of progression from then. Like in my mind frame, like, is anyone ever actually successful? You know what I mean? Like, look at Brady. He retired now, but it took him a while.
Mhm.
And even though he's retired now, I still don't think he's like done with the game. My man won the broadcast. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's always in the back of his head, always.
It's always gonna be so. It's like success is like, I felt like that was like kind of like reaching too much because I'm always gonna chase a goal. I'm never gonna stop being hungry. So I don't know when I'm gonna cut my hair. I guess when
Okay.
it's time, when I feel like it's time for me to do it, that's when I'll do it. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Well, definitely not now, because if we're doing this 1,000 locks, you don't want to cut it now. You don't want to cut it right now.
I feel like I got a lot of people I wanna, take advantage of with these locks. Pause.
Okay. Uh, hey, we've seen on the on the television, on the old dub, the juggernaut, if you will. We've seen Bianca using her hair, which is quite long, as a weapon. You just kind of, I think you threw a little subliminal message at us, my friend, and maybe some of,
Not at all.
huh?
Not at all. Shout out to
Okay,
the queen. Shout out to the queen.
okay,
Shout
all
out to the
right.
queen. Because I mean, if anything, I never really thought about that. But if I was to actually smack the shit out of somebody with one of these locks,
Don't do it to me, please.
all due respect would be towards her. I definitely got nothing but the love. So thank you for again.
so, so what you're saying is, if you ever really wind up, you ever really wind up maybe 500 of those 1,000 locks, and before you whack somebody across the face or whatever, you're gonna say these words: "This is for Bianca, the queen, motherfucker."
No, but I definitely salute. I definitely do something that I know she'll like, yeah. And I don't want no beef, Montez Ford. I know that's all you right there, Playboy.
Yeah, no,
That's all you right
yeah,
there, Playboy.
yeah. No, we're not. No, we're not doing any of that. No, no, no. God, no.
Sheesh,
Uh,
Louise.
I did not know. I did not expect in the first 15 minutes we would be here at all.
Hey, yo. Uh,
Hey, that's why we don't write nothing down. That's why we don't research anything, my man. We hit record and we just chit chat. We chit chat about talent. We chit chat about wrestling, and it ends up who knows where. So that's where we are.
Hey, Don, I don't really get to talk to people like that, you know, besides like my close associates, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really get to peel the layers back and let
Mm.
people in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we appreciate that because I'm sure everyone's sick of me saying it because this is episode 351, I want to say.
Mm.
And I probably said it almost every time. This show isn't mine. Even though it has my damn name on it, it's not my show. This is our show. This is for the fans to learn about the talent, maybe be able to pull back the curtain a little bit and dig a little deep and have some fun and some origins. Like we already kind of did. Does a thousand locks represent anything real life? Does it transition? And these are the things that we can't talk about, or not can't, but that we don't speak upon at the merch tables, maybe pre-show, intermission, post-show when we see the talent, because their time is really limited and quick because there's all sorts of people that want to chit-chat with the talent during those times. So you don't get to have conversations like we do here. And that's why it's really cool when the talent actually say yes and they want to come on the show so we can open up a little bit and just, talk about origins and real life and wrestling and whatever, So, but I try to keep it more of the wrestling because we want to learn how you came up, where you trained, and I like the goofy stuff. Like, I use Kane as an example constantly. When he was the Christmas creature, what was your first gimmick? Was it something outrageous and something kind of kooky when you first started? There's a lot of answers where it was pretty funny. Some were disgusted, wouldn't even talk about it. So because they think back at that time and it's like, man, I don't even want to think back then, but and I know I'm rambling a little bit, but that's why I kind of wanted to do this, was to do backstories because I was very interested in them, and the fans get to kind of hang out and learn as myself and yourself as we chit chat too. So I thought it was kind of a cool idea. And here we are, 351 fucking episodes later. Who knew? Holy shit!
51. How do you feel about that? Like,
Crazy, my man, crazy. I was gonna stop at, well, not really stop, but I was gonna really pull it back at 300. But now, what the hell? Let's go for 400 and see where it goes from there.
it's hard to lead the game when you got so much love, even though I despise you, Don. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see the love. A real man can't deny the fact that you get love. You do get love.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. And a lot of people in the Northeast that's in this business would be lying to themselves if they didn't give you the credit that you deserve for hitting the road as a supporter, not a fan, but a supporter. Like, you don't have to be at half the shows that you go to. And some of the times, like, it be people in the locker room that don't even expect you to be out there, and you be there. You know what I mean? Like, and just seeing your face, like, and don't get all mushy and think I like you, because I really don't like you. But I just have to say that sometimes, like, when people walk through that curtain and they see your ugly ass face, you make the show a lot less stressful.
Oh,
I'm saying real shit. Well, we're gonna put that in a box. We're gonna wrap it up in some tape and Gorilla Glue, and we're gonna throw that in like Musquamaket somewhere, like somewhere far away. Like,
someone will find it, especially if you're gonna throw it in Musquamaket. Someone will find it at the old Musquamaket.
hey, yeah.
I gotta clip all that. That's beautiful. But first off, thank you for the love, and I do really appreciate that. Because I've always wanted to lift up the talents, lift up the promotions, and that's only what I've ever been about. And trying to spread, if I have just a little tiny, whatever little tiny spotlight that I can put on any of the talent that are upcoming, because I love when they're starting out. I mean, as yourself, my friend, you're so early in your career, and here we are talking And I love that stuff. I don't really want the big. I mean, not that we don't want to talk to the big stars and stuff. I mean, I'd be honored to, but I don't go for the big stars. I go for the upcomers and the starters.
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time so early in your career?
So early in your career specifically.
So, like, do you understand how that, like, that shit makes me feel crazy hearing you say that, man? Like, cause I feel like it took so long, but I never thought I'd actually be here. And I still feel like I haven't even really started anything yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Haven't even scratched the surface, my friend.
I
Not
don't
even
mean
a
like
bit.
I'm just getting the zest off the lemon. I ain't even I mean like crazy. That's that culinary talk, man. Y'all hey, step your cooking game up, man.
You know, I think that's going to be the title of this episode. I'm just taking the zest off the lemon.
Take this, yo. Listen, you're a grown ass man. Yo, this paid a full talk, right? Get close to the camera. If you're a grown ass man and you don't know how to cook, smack yourself. Smack yourself, all right? Ramen noodles and hot dogs, it's not what it is, all right? Get yourself a cookbook. Go to Walmart, go to the kitchen department, get you some pots and pans and some knives, and learn something. All right? That's how you get paid in full. Learn something. Damn it.
Cooking with Cash. Oh, that's a new. Maybe we can. Is that the title of the episode? Cooking with Cash. You like that, don't you? You do. Huh? Look at you. You don't like me, but you like that. I know you do.
You got garlic knots on your menu before 2024. Probably got like 50 people online right now looking at cookbooks. Ordering cookware on Walmart right now, man. I need endorsements, man. I need it. Put it in my hand.
You know, since you brought it up, you know, I know you've probably seen me share some pics of my food and stuff that I've been cooking up lately. And man, oh man, I'm telling you, it doesn't take a whole lot of ingredients and it doesn't take a whole lot of know-how to really make some good ass food. And I've been whipping it up like crazy lately. Holy shit, Edrick, it's been mad lately.
Yeah. What's your best dish?
I don't really. Okay, I do. Baked stuffed shrimp. We love to make homemade baked stuffed shrimp at the house. May it be for Easter, may it be for Christmas, may it be for Thanksgiving, may it be for my mom's birthday. Because if it's for anybody's birthday in the house, it's definitely going to be for me, Madre. But we use baked stuffed shrimp for the holidays as a replacement than a turkey or a ham or a prime rib or whatever. That's kind of our go-to specialty, if you will. So myself and my steppapa, mom's husband, Rich, he does a good portion of it, and we have a blast. We hang out and do a little of the devil's lettuce, and we have a lot of fun
Really?
making some baked stuffed shrimp. Yeah, we have some fun. Yeah. So if anything, I would have to say baked stuffed shrimp is definitely our family, our specialty.
So you get baked with baked stuff, shrimp. Okay.
Kind of.
Oh.
My dad has tried it. The proprietor of where I work at, Magumba, Jim, he's tried it. They've both said restaurant quality. So I have to take it within those parameters and say that it's pretty decent. So
I wish I could say that I would be able to have the pleasure of trying those baked stuffed shrimp, but I'm unfortunately allergic to shellfish,
oh,
which
well,
kind of
that sucks.
sucks in the culinary industry because shellfish is like one of the main.
Yeah.
Eh. But hey, I've been told that I can make a good lobster bisque. So
Okay, so you're allergic to shellfish, but your specialty, if you will, would be lobster bisque.
no. I wouldn't say that's my specialty. I've
Okay.
experienced it.
Okay.
and I wasn't able to taste it, so I just had to use my mind. And I, at that time, uh,
Oh shit. Okay.
nah, don't laugh too hard. Don't laugh too hard.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, um, no, no, they just told me that it was pretty good, especially for
Oh,
me not being able to taste test and tinker.
it, you have to have some skill, some creativity in order to pull something like that off in cooking, my friend. So I have to give you some of this because that's not an easy task to, if you're working at a quality restaurant, it doesn't matter. You're always trying to produce quality, no matter what restaurant you're working at. May it be a pizza or whatever it is. But to be able to pull off a lobster bisque and have it quality and people enjoy it without being able to have your palate taste it, that takes some creativity and some know-how of spices too, and the taste of spices as well. Because how the hell are you going to create something if you don't know, or the smell, the aroma of certain specific spices? So I applaud you on that, my friend. That's pretty good. So let's push the lobster biscuit side. Specialty from one, Edrick. What is your specialty, if you will? Cooking with cash.
So, no, I grew up in the cooking through like culinary art school and stuff like since
Okay.
a young kid. But like I go to home, which would be like soul food and stuff like that. Um, and when I was really heavy into cooking on the holidays, like consecutively, one of the main things I was definitely forced to make was my macaroni and cheese. Um, it's a homemade recipe that I got from one of my good friends' mom. Um, and I've come across many recipes, but the only reason why this recipe stuck with me is because his mom told me that she only shared that recipe with one other person, which was her best friend, and she passed away. So from that time, like she never shared it with nobody else except for me because back then she knew my passion to cooking, and
Wow.
it was some pretty good mac and cheese. Like I'm not gonna um and to this day, like it's still in the safe. I haven't shared it with nobody except for the flavors that are produced. You know what I mean? So that's one of
uh,
the things that if I want to impress anybody, it's gonna be some mac and cheese.
Okay, and I mean, unless you're one of the lactose intolerant, most people that I've ever met love them some homemade mac and. I mean, not that Kraft mac and cheese. Some people live on that shit, but to have homemade mac and cheese, that's some of the people's ultimate.
I
Ask
feel like
a
this.
main pro, you know.
If you are lactose intolerant, please stay away from mac and cheese, man. 'Cause, yeah,
uh, the recipe, has it stayed exactly the same, or have you cashed it a little bit, if you will?
um, I added my little cash to it.
Okay.
Added my little cash to it, but I would
Okay.
say probably like the recipe is probably like 95% exactly how it's supposed to be, and
All right.
5% me.
You remind me of something. And how did we get on cooking, boys and girls? Holy shit sticks. You remind me of something that my gram, she used to help run a little small place over here in Terryville, Connecticut called Buster's. Or it's in Bristol. It's not even on the Terryville line, called Buster's. And they call it Buster's Drive-In, but it's a small little shack kind of setup. And they serve hot dogs, hamburgers, onion rings, French fries, milkshakes, and stuff like that. But there's uh, was always the family recipe for the meat sauce that goes on the hot dogs. It's not it's not the same nowadays, but I guarantee you my mom has got that somewhere. You just reminded me of something. Family recipes. I don't cook anything family orientated that I've gotten from any of my family. I gotta get my Graham's Michigan sauce
Mm.
recipe. Oh my goodness, Edric, you got me going now. boys and girls, we went on a different path than I ever expected. I want to rewind and get off the cooking just for a smidge. I want to rewind all the way back because I was starting to talk about, you said something about not crossing TJ Howell III. And nowadays, specifically, we were talking evolution. I don't know if you've been paying attention. TJ Howell III, my man is getting jacked. He's getting thick. He's getting bulked, if you will. Showing us some 316 guns yesterday on the old Stone Cold day. Holy shit. I was looking at some pics when he was wearing the shark socks. That's not the same. That's not the same TJ Howell that I've known. I may want to pull back from busting his balls a little bit. Although he does untie my sneakers and throws them across the fucking room. You know what? I'm not going to stop. No, I'm not.
As he should. I mean, it's
no, that's bullshit, though. Really, I mean, in all honesty, because then I gotta go hop around and get my sneaker.
One thing about me is that when you do see me at events, I'm always keeping my eyes open for competition, for future clients, for people I just might want to beat up, man. But I noticed, TJ.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with them as far as like him and this Frost Force and Frost. But what I will say is that I got my eyes on him.
Okay.
I got my eyes on him.
All right. All of it, I don't care what happened in front of our eyes. It's a farce. Whatever is going down, it's a farce. I already know it. Cold Cash is not okay. They've never been okay. They're not going to be okay. There's nefarious acts aloof in the future. That's all I know. Now, let's scoot back and just kind of the paid in full. Let's kind of we don't want to brush it aside because you're part of paid in full. I want to kind of talk about, Cooking with Cash over here. One Edrick Kash, 1,000 locks, if you will. And dig a little deeper because I don't think the boys and girls out there really know a whole lot. We see and we hear a lot of Fly Nye, and he lets us know that he's there and he's the flyest in the room and all of that stuff. But we don't know a whole lot about Edrick Kash here. So I want to kind of start with, and I know it's probably one of those general questions, but I'm very curious. How long have you been training? And I want to assume that it's been at Test of Strength at the old dojo in East Hartford. If I'm not correct on saying that, please correct me.
No, you're absolutely right. I want to say I started training February of 2021.
Okay. So you're like smack in the mid-pandemic, if you will, where shit was just so in question. Nobody knew anything and what was going to go on in the future. We didn't know if life was going to continue the way it was before because we always kept saying when life gets back to normal. We didn't know what the fuck normal was going to be, So you were right in the middle of that when you started.
The crazy thing is that everybody basically all they had was social media. But from my observation, it looked like wrestling was still kind of moving or flowing from the promos I would see from different people I was following on Facebook and stuff. So it got to a point where I hit up a friend of mine's that was and is still training at the dojo, and he just told me where to go and who to talk to. And then the rest was up to me. I mean, I would say COVID did light the fire under me to get to the dojo, because at the time I wasn't really doing nothing.
Okay.
I was working and I was just getting bored with myself. I wasn't really like satisfied in what I was doing and just how I was going about my life.
Mhm.
And I needed to change. And this was it. Like, and it's been
So,
a dream. It
but
wasn't like I just my bad, but I just
no, no, no.
it wasn't like I just decided, oh yeah, I want to do this. Like it always been something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So it was just
Okay.
on the matter of me taking that step and making it happen.
Which is, so scary and so everything because it's got such a question mark on it. You know, do I get in? Can I do these things that they do in the ring? And am I capable? And the longevity of a career. How long do I want to do this for? Do I want to end up on TV? Is that my my long term goal? Which I kind of like to throw that question around. But I kind of want to talk about obviously you start training in 2021, but the size of you is not much bigger than me, if at all. And I mean, we've only seen you with Fly on the outside of the ring, really not really in the ring in a match or whatever. Um, you seem to be having no, no fucking pun intended. You seem to have an eye for it, but if
Wow.
that was not meant. I swear to God, that was not meant.
So I'm super soon. To think about it, I'm a super soon.
That was not meant. Oh fuck! I feel myself getting blush. Oh my God. But your body type and my body type are similar. I feel it's a little bit of lunacy getting in a ring with some of these guys that are really fucking big, dude. Are you built to do this because you're going through the training? And I'm just asking this because of your stature is all. I mean, let's be real, like, are you built for this, my man?
So here's the thing. We are similar just a little bit as far as what you would say body style. You ain't got guns like these though. You know what I mean? You don't have them. All right? You don't got that six pack under there. You don't got
Ah, well, and not all of it. Then I got a pack. I got a pack.
and I doubt, not saying that you're not a man, but I doubt you can do what I can do in that ring.
That's why that's why I'm in the seat, my man. That's why I'm in. I know better. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I don't want to get in there and take the bumps because fuck that. I don't know, boys and girls. I don't know if you've ever been inside of a wrestling ring. And I know I've spoken about the structure of a
Talk.
wrestling ring. Yeah, talk to him. You know what? I will agree with that for once, Edrick Kash. Talk to him because, and I don't know if you guys know what the structure actually is of a wrestling ring, and it's legitimately, and I do not fuck around here. It's a steel frame. Okay, you have a steel frame with the posts. There's braces. Some have braces that go across. Those are old school, pretty stiff, if I might say. I've touched them. I've been in them. Very stiff compared to the ones that don't have all of those bars and stuff. Some have a spring on it, but those are really, really old school. Nobody uses those anymore. But usually it's just a steel frame with the post with planks of wood that go across. Okay, just stay with me. Planks of wood that go across lengthly. Could you tell us how long these planks are, my friend? Because I know you know.
It depends on what size the ring is. I believe the Tesla Strength Dojo ring is 17 by 17.
Okay, so now we're talking a 17 by 17 square ring, 17-foot planks that go across, if you will, right? 16, we'll say 16 something. Now, there's some padding. That's it. There's no beautiful shag, cushiony, something dreamy stuff that they fall on. It's a tiny little piece of padding with a canvas stretched over the top of it. That's it, no more. And they put their bodies through hell, hitting this thing for our entertainment and for their dreams, all at the same token.
Hey, I done seen that ring. I done seen that ring make people think twice about hitting the ropes.
The ropes. Let's talk about that real quick. I have seen instantly, and I know we don't see it on TV, boys and girls, but I've seen it instantly on the ribs if you're not hitting things correctly and you're in this process of honing your craft. Welts will instantly come out of nowhere if you're not doing these correctly, if you're too strong, if all sorts of things have to come into play to make this thing really well oiled and polished. This is no joke. And I know the old cliche, it's not ballet. I don't like to use that. I just don't know what else to use. But it is absolutely no joke. It's no bullshit. It's real fucking shit. And I'm telling you, as Edrick has already stated, I know my limits. I am not getting in between those ropes to perform and try to do what these guys and girls do. That's why for all of us, it gives us the awe, the visual awe of what they can do in the ring because we can't. We're not built like that physically, mentally. It takes a lot. And I always speak about that on these interviews. You need that full package to be, a successful wrestler. And I don't mean to be rambling on, and I'm not going on some soapbox. And I'm not trying to say it's not fake, brother. I'm just telling you, it's legitimately no bullshit. And I am not. Me, this small frame would snap in half. It would snap like peanut brittle. It would shatter. If I start taking bumps on that steel structure with wooden planks with a tiny little piece of padding, I would die in a heartbeat.
But
So
that's
with all of that rambling, Edrick, tell me I am wrong with anything I've said because I'm not a wrestler. But please tell me I'm wrong.
no. So you hit the nail on the head. You're not wrong about the things that you're saying. And that's why when people ask me like, what's taking me so long to join Fly Nine in the ring, or what's taking me so long to get in the ring, period, it's because you're right. You know what I mean? My size right now, I have to take my time. I have to find out what meal plans I have to take because I'm a diabetic
Okay.
to build the cushion to take those bumps. You know what I mean? Like being in the kitchen and moving so fast paced, I can eat as many calories as I want and burn it just like that on top of insulin. You know what I'm saying? So like, and 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 mind you, you got work, then you got the gym, and then you got training. You know what I mean? So it's a lot compiling into my life that's kind of taking me like I'm a perfectionist. And as much as I want to chase the light and be in the limelight, like I care for my body. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take the precautions I gotta take to make sure when it's time for me to go, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? When it's time for me to perform, my tools are sharp. I don't want to go out there looking stupid. And I know things happen, you know what I'm saying? But I want it to happen naturally and organically, not because I wasn't ready and prepared for it.
Mm.
I mean, like, um, and honestly like I'm blessed with the opportunities that I've had and that are coming because at the end of the day, like, um, it's all about the people. You know what I mean? And I want to make the people happy, whether they born or not. Whatever reaction I get from them, from the time I walk through that curtain to the time I walk back,
Mhm.
that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm being honest and genuine because I'm honestly a fan of this craft. Like, I care about it so much to like, I'm upset if the fans are not happy. You know what I mean? Like, now it's going back to the drawing board, trying to figure out what we're going to do next time to make sure we capitalize off last time. That's always the main thing. Like, what are we doing to make sure they want to see us again? You know what I mean, you gotta forgive me. My cat right here too. Like, I think he's trying to.
Could you kind of continue the topic you're on right now? Because again, that's one of the main topics that we speak on, Stirring the Pot, is the relationship between fans and wrestler, that dance that we do and the chemistry that we both make together as one during the events. Talk to us, the fans, because you're speaking upon it, but go a little bit deeper and talk about like when you come out and the reaction, the interactions, everything that goes on. Cookie time at PAPW, just shit like that. Everything. The relationship between fan and Edrick and Fly, when you guys come out through that damn curtain, it's just something special. And I find that it's more special often than it isn't. You guys hit more good notes than you don't, if you will.
Right, right. So I don't know. Like, I'm old school. Like, I'm old school. I don't got no shame in saying it. Like, I'm an '80s baby. So I grew up on where like it was actually storytelling, where you actually had villain, hero, and you knew the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I can't I can't control what nobody else's does, because at the end of the day, when we walk through that curtain, everything is organic. Nothing is planned. You know what I'm saying? So like,
It is.
for me, I'm coming out there with a mission to make sure I protect my mans, make sure we collect that bag. Whatever happens, happens. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I don't care, because you still paid to see us.
Mm.
Know what I mean?
Oh, well, whenever paid in full is on the bill, and I'm aware of it, I always pre-show. I'm t-
You see us.
well, no. Here's my point. I look for said promoter, and I'll be like, I hear that paid in full is on the bill, and they'll be like, hell yeah, we got some young, hungry lions coming up, and they're ready to take a hold of the scene. Hey, no, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Especially as a wrestling fan. I was just wondering if I can get in half price since
No,
they're on the bill.
no,
I've gotten a yes a couple times. Yeah, I've gotten a yes a couple times. I paid half price because paid in full is on the card.
Do you know who you cheated though? You want to know who you cheated? You cheated the other talent, because we get what we asked for. Put it in my hand.
Ah,
But
damn.
what I was trying to say is the relationship between me and fans, like, or yeah, me and fans, I don't I'm not malicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't be disrespectful.
Mhm.
I'm saying, don't be disrespectful and we can have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem in channeling my inner Bully Ray if I have to, and grabbing that microphone and letting somebody know about themselves. You know what I mean? Or letting somebody know how much their mom really cared about them. You know what I'm saying? You remember that old school ECW, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we in 2023 now, so it's real now. It's real.
2023.
You know what I mean? Like, we've been locked up in COVID. People got some shit to say. See? But, I love y'all. I love y'all, man. Don't be scared to holler at me and take pictures. I take pictures.
Yeah. No. I've asked too. You know, and let me touch upon a subject because it just happened again recently with Ty Shine. Seeing you guys' family come to the shows is, I see it's a blessing for the talent. You love having, especially if they've either A, never seen you, as in Ty Shine's case, or B, they just haven't, been around in a while, and you've been in the business for a minute, and they've come out, and it's really heartwarming for yourself as a talent. And I can see that as a fan. I love taking pictures, and I find out after the fact, like one with Fly and his dad, if I'm not mistaken, his dad or his uncle or somebody I forget at a show, or his mom or somebody I forget. I forget what it was. And after the fact, it just blew my mind that she that's my boy. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
So
right.
these things, they just come out of left field because I find out after the fact of taking these pictures. But for me personally, because of the relationships I've made in some of the locker rooms and whatnot, dude, that warms my heart up so much to see you guys just be so delighted and so just lifted that your family is there. And I love that shit to death, man. I really do.
When I see my people in the crowd, it just it's like I don't know it makes me feel good for them knowing that it's been a childhood dream. You know what I'm saying? Like um when we talk about goals, even though you breached on it, but we really haven't touched about it. Like
Hit us, man.
the goals for me, like the goals are like unlimited in my mind. Like when I got into the game, like I became a sponge, wanting to soak up everything I could possibly soak up. You know what I mean? Like if there was a goal, if I had two that I can think of, is just winning the championship and just making a historical moment,
Hmm.
whether it's on the Indies or even if I was fortunate enough to get a deal, just like making a historical moment that my kids could look up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my pops did that.
Mm.
I mean, like when they could just look up on YouTube and see 100 and something million views off of an incredible match or something or a historical moment, just something. You know what I mean? Like, because as much like let's keep it real, Don. Like outside of our community, and we just talk about wrestling, period, not just indies, but just the whole wrestling. Like outside of our community, you just got like the casual fans and people that think they know. You know what I'm saying? Like people that if you bring up wrestling right now, yeah, I haven't watched wrestling since Rock and Stone Cold. Like really?
Yeah.
Talking about damn near 20 years, man. Like plus. Like it's so much more. Like it's worldwide now. Like you can look at Japan and look at people that you never even knew existed.
Hmm.
And for a wrestling fan that's a kid right now, like when they look that up on YouTube, now they got a new goal. It's not just WWE. Now we can go over the water and then come back to the States and be like, look what I built. Come get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I mean. Like the goals are unlimited. Like, who says I can't be an agent? Who says I can't write stories? Who says I can't take this wrestling and become a stunt double? You know what I mean? Like it's so many avenues. Like, but first things first, I gotta harness this craft first. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get this black belt if there is a black belt in this art first. You know what I mean? Like
Well, they do say, it's a never ending learning tree when it comes to wrestling, because there's so many different facets of wrestling, art forms, if you will, from country to country. Especially if you like, if you went against a guy like a Zack Sabre Jr., who's very British driven, you don't know a lot of the shit that he's pulling. I mean, you've seen it visually, but
mhm.
physically, you've never done said art form. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's very valid because take Brazilian fighting. You know the way they do it, dude. You can't prep for that shit. But yeah, the art form is a many within wrestling. So they do say, you know, get a black belt. I'm not saying you can't get a black belt, but they do say that it's a never ever learning tree, never ending learning tree, if you will. So you are. How do I address this? Like, Fly is in ring talent right now. You're in ring talent, but are you a manager? Are you
That's my boy. That's my brother.
special counsel? Are
That's
you
my
the
brother.
wise man?
That's my brother.
Okay. So how do we address you as his brother?
You address me as paid in full. You address us
Really?
as paid in full.
Like all the time?
If you want to keep your teeth.
Oh, okay. Let's calm down. Let's all calm down. Okay. All right. Wow, that got serious. Excuse me. Test the Strength Dojo, producing some fine talent right now as we speak. We have the we have the likes of Flying E. We have the likes of Itchy on. We have the likes of The Firm. We have the likes of Ryan Frost and Dan the Man, and it goes on and on. And the Mission collectively. It just goes on and on over there. You already mentioned that wrestling right now is pretty much worldwide. It's more flourishing now. Again, 2023, more flourishing now than it's ever been in the history of wrestling. Do you feel it's a detriment because there's so much, and maybe fans don't know which direction to go in, and they only see WWE still because there are many, many avenues to go, but there's so many places to reach at. Do you think it's too much right now, or do you think that it's really a good thing for wrestling and wrestling fans to have such a variety?
Um, I feel like I don't feel like it's a bad thing that there's so much to look out for. Um, 'Cause, everybody got a preference. You just got to find your own. Um, for the ones that's just strictly like WWE, like open your mind, man. Just open your mind. Don't get it twisted. Like I was that guy a long, long, long time ago where you couldn't get me to watch TNA. And that's what I'm saying, like, no disrespect to him, but it was a certain point in time where I was like, man, nah, this is not what it is. And like I had no choice but to watch WWE. Like, and then I was even mad at that because they wasn't giving me what I wanted as far as like product. And I wasn't really hit to the indie scene. I really didn't know much about it. And my knowledge on the internet as far as finding stuff like that was very, very low. So I'm glad that there's opportunity for other people to find opportunities so they can find what they like. You know what I mean? Like, um, and if people were more open-minded about professional wrestling, then they would actually hear their friends telling them about this new product that's just sprung out or that they just came across. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the world needs professional wrestling right now. More independent wrestling than anything. Like I think they need more. I think the world needs to open up on the independent scene because it's definitely blossoming. It's definitely popping. The Northeast is popping when it comes to professional wrestling. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what the rest of the world is going on, but we popping up here. Like and the elites out there that pull the strings, they know that the Northeast is popping. Um, um, shit, like Man, Test the Strength is popping.
Hmm?
Like, I'm a, man, I'm gonna just put it out there and say it. Like, people be sleeping on the product, and like they be acting like they don't want to give us our due. Like, when we putting on them stories, like our like our shows don't be welcoming. Like, it's not a gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's welcome, and we you go home happy. So like, start giving us our props, man. Stop fighting, stop hating, and show Pay the Force some love. That's all.
All right. Um, I have a couple things that I'd like to talk about before we go, if that's possible. We've been running an hour. Wow,
And
that went
I got as long as you got, down.
man, that went way quicker than I expected.
And you still owe me some garlic knots too. I ain't playing.
Garlic nuts, schmarlic nuts. I want to talk about, and I'm not trying to bring the show down. I want to talk the special moment of it. You went to HOG, House of Glory,
Yes, sir.
and the Briscoes were on the bill. I want to almost be saying they were defending the HOG Tag Team Championships, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were.
Yes, I believe they were.
I think they were defending that evening, and they might have lost that night that we speak of, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I want to go post event. HOG, a hell of a product, and they put on a great production. They have great talent. But there was something that happened with yourself and Fly and I post event with the Briscoes, if I'm not mistaken. Talk to us about that, and talk. What the hell just happened?
My bad, Don. Somebody just called all of a sudden.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. They were trying to get you off my back about the garlic nuts. Talk about the special moment, because you know, even if Jay was still with us, it's still a special moment, because goddamn, it's the Briscoes. They weren't guys that you get pictures with or get to mingle with uh, very often. So talk to us about that special moment at HOG.
All right. So we knew about this event for a while. Gathered up in a bunch of cars. We head up there to HOG. But prior to that, like, when me and Fly and I solidified that we were actually going, like, I told Fly and I, like, Briscoe Bros, like, when it comes to the independent scene, like, I've known about the Briscoe Bros since like 2010, I want to say. That's when I first came across them. Mark Briscoe, more than Jay at that time. I knew they were a team, but Mark Briscoe had a championship match at Supercard against Dalton Castle. And
Television championship or the heavyweight championship?
I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It might have been a television. It might have been. I'm not sure. But
yeah, because I don't think Mark was a big champ, right?
Probably not. Probably not.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
But nah, it was something about his promo. The promo that he did for that match is like, yo, I like him. And then it made me dig deeper into their promos and into their matches. But a couple weeks before the HOG event, I'm telling Fly now, like, look, man, like, I don't know what's gonna happen that night, but what I do know is that if we meet the Briscoe Bros, like, you gotta allow me to mark out, man. Like you gotta allow me to be that fan for that moment, and then give me all the bullshit and all the hell on the way back home to Connecticut. But for that moment, let me be a fan. I'm like, you know how Flying I is. Yo, go ahead, bro. You know, it's a go ahead, do your thing. So I'm like, I bet. So The match happens, whatever. I mean, the event happens. Everybody's packing out. You know, due to being with the hill shit, extraordinaire Alex Rojas, we ended up backstage at the locker room and stuff, and chilling, whatever. But you know, me and Fly Nine, we people was people, so we ended up going outside. So we just so happened to see Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe, like he's with his family, he's with the kids and stuff. So we let him do his thing. You know, I wanted to speak to him, but the kids are more important. You know what I mean? So we seen Jay, and Jay just by himself. He got his suitcase and everything. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go holler at Jay. So I went straight up to him, like, hey, Jay Briscoe. He's like, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, no disrespect, but I said, no disrespect, but like, me and my brother right here, like, we training, we training to be pro wrestlers or whatever, and like, sooner or later, man, I want to meet you and your brother later on down the line. And I swear, Dom, he look now. I'm close to home, like how me and you talk, like close. And he looked me up and down, like. Now I don't know if that look was like, man, who the fuck is this, or like just looking to see like what I could be in maybe 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And Paul shook my hand and embraced me, and I'm like, you know, we go by the name Paid in Full. He was like, yeah, man, I like that. And I was like, you say, I swear, Don, like this conversation did not go how I thought it would go. Like I thought I was gonna meet this dude who was like, you know how they say don't meet your heroes and stuff like that. Thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a situation like that, man. And like that was the most humblest guy that I have ever. I'm not gonna say ever met, but that experience is not what I expected.
Mm.
So I told him my name was Paid in Full, and home basically gave us the okay, like he was feeling that. And off that vibe, because I feel like I'm an empathic person, like off that feeling that I had with home, and I got cold chills going down my arms right now. Like I knew that I manifested something that can happen later on down the future, down the line. And then that was the night right there. And you see the picture on my Facebook, like that's right there. And then a month later, exactly a month later, me and Nye were at the dojo. We just got finished having a training match, right? Mind you, the funny thing about it is that this training match, me and Nye were tag team partners. I wasn't on the outside, right?
Okay.
So I have somebody recording our match with my phone. And as he's recording, you know, we go through the match is over. Gives me my phone and he's like, hey yo, somebody just texted your phone and said that Jay Briscoe passed away. And he didn't even know who that was. He'd like some wrestler named Jay Briscoe. And I'm like, what? Stop playing. So I grabbed my phone and me and Fly Nine were walking down the hallway of the dojo. And lo and behold, I opened up my phone and like there it was, like right there, like done exactly a month after that meeting.
Wow.
And that definitely like that broke my heart for a nice piece. Like I still go through my YouTube and I see mad tributes to him and I still watch him like to this day, man. And I feel like now I have no choice but to like come across Mark Briscoe just to share this story with him and just like embrace him and give him a hug, like and show him that picture, like and thank him and his brother like spiritually for like just whatever this feeling is that makes me feel good about wrestling, like real shit. Like
Mm.
that's something that you can't replace, man.
E, I really appreciate you sharing that story because I knew it was all going to be from the heart. and all going to be legit shit. And I cannot thank you enough for sharing with us, the fans, that moment that you and Fly had with the Briscoes, man, because, you know, where we're at now, it becomes a little more special. Again, like I stated earlier, it still would have been special either way if he was still with us. But it just, you know, I appreciate you sharing that story. Thank you. Now, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say wrestling, man. Like
Yeah.
I never would have thought that this path would be so plentiful with just meaningful moments.
Now, at the shows, you do your thing, I do my thing, but my thing kind of entails a little bit of getting chased, a little bit of my phone getting a swirly, a little bit of getting the middle finger thrown at me, and it's a whole thing. But there's been 2 times, most recent shows, and I've kind of come out busting E's ass a little bit, Edrick's ass a little bit. I want to say, with a little respect. But I've come out said doorway from said venue, and would greet Edrick in not such a great. I thought it was funny as fuck, but then I was told that you shouldn't really do that to Edrick because there's some like legit shit going on, and I would be like, "Hey, E, what's going on?" Blah blah blah, and I would hear more "oh shit" than I would get a kick out of. So it seems a little serious, and I'm not gonna do it no more. And I wanted to save it for the last topic in case you really wanted to kill me and we couldn't continue. So if I may ask, if at all possible,
What is it, Don?
it's not a gimmick, my man. A gimmick, if you will.
So no, it is not a gimmick. So for those that don't know, what's today's date?
Today's date is March 16, 17. I believe it's March 17th, 2023.
So yesterday, March 16th, would be 11 years since I had an attempt on my life. I got stabbed in my neck. I don't know if you guys can see the scars, but stabbed in the neck caused me to get some surgery down here. And I also got stabbed in the eye.
Oh, fuck.
I had to fight for my life and get up out of there. The doctors, I'll just put it up like this. Ever since I was young, I've always been fighting the odds. Was born with asthma, got diagnosed with diabetes, but I've always been told I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and I always fought through it, and I always made a way. When the situation happened, the doctors said I wouldn't be able to talk anymore.
Oh, wow.
Stabbing. And at that point in time, that was when I was like very heavy and serious in chasing the music career. I'm not as connected as I was back in the day, but I was very well connected in the music industry.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Bless you. It's all good. Bless you. So at that point in time, like, yeah, they told me that I wouldn't be able to talk. But we fought through that. But I lost 50% of my vision due to that accident or due to that situation. So, like, obviously fans out there and supporters out there to have fun and enjoy themselves. So, can't control everybody for the things that they say. And I'm not as sensitive as I once was about this. to where like every joke or every situation bothers me. But like sometimes I do get flashbacks. You know, like
I would imagine, yeah.
sometimes like I do, you know, like I just do think of like what ifs. Um, to be fair, like this situation that happened wasn't where I knew the person or anything like that. It's not a situation where um I was able to report anybody. Um, so the person that did this is still out there. 11 years, 12 years, however long years later, they're still out there. You know what I mean? So like there's certain things that I think about and I deal with. And you know, sometimes that's why I am kind of like standoffish when I'm
Mhm.
at intermission or after shows or before shows, not because I don't like people, but because like it takes me a little bit to warm up. You know what I mean? Like to get used to a surrounding, even if I've been there multiple times. Like sometimes I have to walk around the venue just to who's out there. You know what I mean? Like I ain't never seen that person before. Is that person a fan? And it's like it sucks. But I just want y'all to know that like it's okay. You know, just you know what I mean? Just think about that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I mean, don't not have fun at shows. You know what I mean? But don't don't make it an everyday thing where I like have to look at you differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
have to fuck y'all up.
Yeah. No, we don't. We don't want that.
I
Uh,
a little bit too late, Don, but was I allowed to cuss on here? Because I just like you're gonna leave a lot of stuff out.
and, I'm not censored, if you will. I mean, maybe I am, and I don't know it, and I just let it fly anyway. So
All
the short answer is no.
right,
We can, or the short answer is yes, we can swear.
all right, all right.
Um, these are the things. Well, not not specifically, but stories. I backstories. That's why this all started, stirring the pot, my man. And I really truly appreciate you. And I know we talked the Jay Briscoe, but this is just a little bit different, a little bit heavier, and just a whole another animal. I really, truly, honestly appreciate you sharing your story with us, the fans, because again, we like to pull back the curtain, and sometimes a lot of the people don't want us to go pulling it all sorts of crazy. And you let us pull it back quite a bit at the tail end here, and I absolutely appreciate it. And I have to throw you an apology that I fucked with you at the shows for it, because that's not cool. I mean, but
It's fine.
I thought it was a gimmick.
Yo, see, on some real shit, Don. Like, let me keep it 100 with you. Like, um, me and you, we talk,
We do,
right?
yes, sir, yes, sir.
So that information that you received, did it come from me?
No.
So, like, I feel like respectfully, what you do is equivalent to what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, even though I dislike you, I don't, I don't go too far.
I can
And what
feel
I,
that. Yeah.
and what I do want to let be known is that what you fans may see as far as the transaction between Painful and Don is just a transaction between Painful and Don. Don't ever get it twisted to where you think you can do what we do because At any point in time, anybody ever get it disrespectful or get it fucked up with Don Kincaid, you got a whole squad and you got a whole mob behind him ready to like just make an example out of you. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
paid in full getting real.
Yeah, honest, because you know, like people like to blur the lines, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just straightforward, you know what I mean? Like I don't fuck around with the fuck around since I'm allowed to cuss. You know what I mean?
Man, I almost want to title it that now. I don't fuck around with the fuck around. That's a great title.
Hey, now check this out. I guarantee after this podcast is over, you're gonna hear a lot of promos with a lot of my shit. A lot of my stuff on their promos, man. Thank me later.
Royalties, my man. Royalties. Keep your eyes peeled and for those royalties. You got to get that shit. You got to get paid in full.
I've been watching your analytics too. I want my royalties for this fucking video too. Yeah. Think you slick, man.
No, no.
Yeah. Mr. T. Bill, get out of here.
Well, we ended on a good note, on a high note, if you will, a laughing note. But we felt some love, we felt some honesty, we felt some brutality, we felt a lot of emotions in this hour 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Big Jim, mine's right there. I should have worn mine tonight.
I haven't taken mine off since I got it, even in the shower.
Oh. Do we address you as Edrick Kash or 1,000 Locks?
Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Edrick Kash, aka 1,000 Locks.
Okay, I'll take all of that. We've had a fine almost hour and a half. It was a little bit of a roller coaster, boys and girls. Not as rough as I expected. I had this vision, as I'm sure Mr. Kash did. I don't think cooking was going to be part of our vision, but we talked some cooking. Oddly enough, that was good. Edrick Kash, aka 1,000 Locks. We've had such a great time. We've pulled all sorts of information. You've been so honest. You did some stories. We did some real life shit. Is there anything that I haven't spoken on a topic that maybe you wanted to speak upon on STP that we haven't touched yet? Because if there is, please, it's an open forum, and I want to get your thoughts out there.
Wrestling world, just stay tuned. Okay. Paint a fool trying to be in the city near you.
Oh.
So if you know a booker that's about some money, that's about some good shows and good quality content, holla at us. Something. All right. Yeah, man. I just want everybody to be positive. Be more positive, man. Be more positive. Spread more love. And just tell somebody you love them. Yeah, man, that's it.
All right.
There's nothing. I think the world to be a better place. I don't have nothing to promote. I don't have nothing to promote because I want it to be less about me and more about y'all now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it.
We left off with a message of peace and love, boys and girls. That again, unexpected, but I love all of that. Okay,
Caddy.
That now that's where I expected to end on.
Shout out to Uncle Q. Shout out to Fly Nine. Man, shout out to Texas Strength. Man, shout out to every promotion that ever gave us an opportunity to do our thing. Shout out to the haters, because without the haters, we wouldn't be who we are. And shout out to the supporters. We're gonna do our best to make sure we just keep it fresh, keep it unique, keep it hood, and keep it paid in full.
All right.
And
He doesn't fuck around with the fuck around. I love that. You're gonna be saying that, yeah, like you said, that's gonna catch on, I think.
Something fell in my background. My bad.
But before we leave, I like to have the talent give us the handles of their old Twitter, face page, Pornhub, OnlyFans, whatever you guys and girls got. Share with us so we can type it in and find you and see the media and whatnot.
Yeah, my social handles is at EasyCash860. That's EASYCASH860. And that's on Instagram and Twitter.
All right.
And that's about it.
Okay. Nothing on Pornhub. That surprises me too. Okay.
Brother, I am Pornhub.
Boys and girls, find time with one Edrick Kash, aka Thousand Locks. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very special guest. I'll say it one more time so we get that rolling. Edrick Kash, aka Thousand Locks. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for spending the time with us, my man.
Peace out.
Wait, where'd I go? Did we stop? No, we did not.